A little recap on what we covered in the previous webinar. REI Cloud is a true web-based product. This means that you can access REI Cloud from anywhere, anytime, and on any device. The screens will dynamically resize to fit your device. REI Cloud is hosted on the Microsoft Azure platform. This means that your data is secure. As we stated in the last webinar, the features today will look familiar, but we'll also show you how we have made it better. We have focused on client feedback while building REI Cloud, and we believe that this has created a quality product. This is what we're going to be covering: navigating the bookings calendar, communication with your guests, booking agents, reports in REI Cloud, an REI Cloud exclusive feature, which is communities, banking and reconciling, and end of month. As you'll see in the bookings calendar, you'll note along the top that there is a toolbar which has all of your day-to-day functions. This toolbar will remain in the screen for any screen that you are in the bookings calendar. So that could include your housekeeping, your tariffs, and as we go through today, I'll show you that. The help and support button is also in the top right-hand corner, and this will allow you to search our knowledge base and log your support requests online. We have also added in additional fields to allow the user to be able to filter the bookings grid more in depth. Users can now filter by the room type, the booking type, and the booking agent. If I click on booking.com and reload my grid, it will then show bookings linked to the booking.com agent. Refresh again, and it brings all the bookings back onto the grid. In the top right-hand corner, you can also search for bookings that are currently in the date range that you have in the bookings calendar. This is really useful if you have a guest come down or come in that needs to check in or check out or add a charge onto their booking. Simply click on the booking and it will open up the booking form for you. From the bookings calendar, you can click in the top right-hand corner here where you got the 3 lines, and this will show you any recently opened bookings. This can be really helpful when you get interrupted while editing or creating a new booking. You can easily come back to see what you were in. You'll see along the top of the screen that I have multiple tabs open. This will allow you to be able to have multiple screens open while navigating in REI Cloud. So if you're like many or like myself and have multiple computer screens, you'll be able to have the booking search or the housekeeping on one screen and the bookings calendar on the other screen. You can still collapse your room types in REI Cloud as well. And you can also display either by type or by reference. So this allows the user to be able to customize the bookings grid to cater for their preferences. To make a booking in REI Cloud is really simple. In the top left-hand corner, you can either click on booking, or you can simply hold your mouse and drag along the booking grid, and a new booking form will open. You'll see that we've got some blue shaded fields here, and these are your required fields when creating a new booking. When I enter in data into the booking, you'll see that there is a green border around the fields that I have just edited. This will show you any changes that you have made to a booking, and this is whether you are creating a brand new booking or editing an existing booking. Moving a booking is just as simple as well in REI Cloud. I can simply grab a hold of the booking and drag it up and down in the bookings calendar and move it to a different room. Extending a booking is just as simple like it is in REI Master. You can drag the edge, the beginning or the end of the booking, you'll then be prompted to recalculate the accommodation tariff, remove or reapply link charges, and remove or reapply housekeeping. Opening a booking is also quite easy. You can use the single click button to have your quick view. From here, you can check in or check out a booking, cancel a booking, access the account, send an email or an SMS, or you can double click on a booking and it will open the booking form for you. With my single click, if I click here, I'm going to check in this booking here that's due to arrive, King. Check it in, super easy. And then if I click again, single click, I can quickly access the accounts screen here. We'll come back to the accounts screen in a moment. With our double click to open up a booking and our single click to access the quick view, we've been very selective with those tools to be able to create those features for you. So double click and single click features like this are really simple in a desktop application like REI Master, but are much more complex to do in a web-based application like REI Cloud. This ensures that we are giving our clients the familiar features that they're used to. From within the bookings form, you can still email and preview your guest statement. Based on feedback in REI Master, this was a two-step process to be able to email or preview your statement. In REI Cloud, we've combined those steps together, so that way you can choose just with one mouse click, do I email or do I just preview? Here is a sample of the guest statement for you to view on the screen now. Just going to close down the guest statement now. And I'm just going to take you to the top right-hand corner of the booking form. We've added in some task shortcuts here which help you communicate with your guests. And these buttons are available while you're navigating throughout the booking form. So whether you're in accounts or housekeeping, you can access your tasks and be able to send an email, an SMS, or a phone call. Tasks are heavily underutilized, and by logging any conversation that you do have with your guests, it just ensures that the rest of your team is up to date with a booking. Hence why we've moved them into a more noticeable location. Let's now jump into the accounts screen. And here's your accounts screen here. So in REI Cloud, you can still do a receipt, a refund, a charge, a transfer a deposit, or use the payment gateway with eWay. These are the same payment methods that are available to you in REI Master. As you can see, we've moved the buttons to the top left-hand corner here. And we have also inserted an account filter as well in the top right-hand corner, and the buttons are in the top left, sorry. So in the top right-hand corner, I can filter by charges, payments, journals, receipts, and it just makes it easier to be able to view these transactions and just look at a certain type of transactions. When I do a receipt, you can see the payment method is on the right-hand side. Based on client feedback, we've put this all into one screen and removed the confirmation pop-ups. So this is streamlining the receipting process. From this screen, I can still do payments, including such methods as your agent and contra payments. If I do a payment, I can save it and I can still email the receipt. In the top left where we've got the buttons, we've color coordinated them as well to make it easier to be able to navigate and click on the button that you need. If I click on a transaction like I have with this receipt, the refund and receipt reversal buttons are now active and I can now click on them and process either a refund or a reversal. So far as what we've shown you are familiar functions. So let's go back to the bookings calendar and I'll show you some more features. So from the bookings toolbar, I'm now going to click on the search button. So earlier I showed you in the bookings calendar in the top right hand corner how you can search the bookings calendar. Let's now have a look at the booking search screen and how you can search all your bookings in REI Cloud. I just wanted to point out again, I'm able to flip between the calendar and the booking search screen quite easily. So again, if you have multiple screens, you could have the booking search open on one screen, bookings calendar on the other screen. So again, that's like you can do in REI Master. So on the top left-hand corner, we have the search for field. And in here, I can type a first name, a surname, a mobile, or an email, and it will search those fields for you. You do not need to then filter and select the field that you want to search like you do in REI Master. So I'm going to type in John here and search. And it's now brought up any bookings that relate to John. So I've got some that surname, some are first name related. Also, you'll note that when you do a search in REI Cloud, it just shows you records that are relating to that search. No more having to scroll through a heap of records that may have nothing to do with what you're searching for. We have still kept the filters along the top of the screen if you want to do more generalized search. So as an example, you want to look at departed bookings or cancelled bookings, or just in-house or overdue arrivals, overdue departures. And we've also maintained the right-click function, so you can open a booking, access the account, check in, cancel, communicate with your guests, all from within the booking search screen. Now you're probably wondering what this histogram graph is doing in REI Cloud. This shows you any bookings that are arriving, departing, or created on in REI Cloud. So you can filter this graph and subsequently filter the data that displays here by either 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, by date range, or I can just grab the beginning and the end of the filter here, drag it along, and it will update my search screen for me. In the search screen, we've also kept the booking status colouring for your bookings. Again, just making it easier to be able to identify what status certain bookings are in. With the bookings as well, I can still order my columns. So if I want to order by arrival or departure date, I can do so. But we've also added in the ability to be able to filter by multiple columns. So if I click on the property column here, I can drag it up to the top and it'll filter by the property. I can then select the arrival date and filter further by that information. So now what you can see here is I've got it filtered by first property and then a second sub-filter by arrival date. From this screen as well, I can also remove columns that I do not want to have in the screen when I am going through and filtering the information. So I could take out booking number and status and click OK, and you'll see it removed the first two columns there on the left-hand side. Now from the bookings search, I'm going to move on to housekeeping now. So I'm going to click on the housekeeping button along my toolbar. So housekeeping in REI Cloud is really easy to use. We've found that with REI Master, most users use tasks rather than the housekeeping tasks. In REI Cloud, we've put housekeeping along the toolbar in a prominent position to make it easier to navigate to. Based on our client feedback, we've also only displaying housekeeping tasks that are due today. You can still filter the tasks that you display on the screen by the drop-down boxes along the top. So if you did want to have a look at overdue tasks, you'd be able to filter to do that. You can still bulk update your tasks as well, so bulk complete or update the housekeeping charge. So every so often you put up your housekeeping charges to adjust with costs. You can go through in REI Cloud, select all the tasks that need to be updated and update the charge for the task. So you don't need to go into each booking and update the housekeeping tasks that way. Within the housekeeping task screen as well, we've also popped in the booking status colours in this screen, so that again, it's just easier to reference to be able to see what status each booking is in. A little bit later on, I'm going to show you the housekeeping report, but just so that you are aware, we have kept the report the same so that when you migrate to REI Cloud, it is much easier for you to get used to. When migrating from REI Cloud to REI Master, all existing housekeeping tasks that you already have set up in your REI Master database will remain the same and migrate to REI Cloud. So you will not need to reset them up. Now, while I'm in the housekeeping screen, I'm going to go back to my toolbar and click on Tariffs. As you can see, navigating through the bookings calendar in REI Cloud is quite easy. I can go to all of my key areas just from any screen that I'm in. So with the tariffs screen, we have kept the layout the same. We have updated the bulk update tool to make it more user-friendly for users. And as you can see, with a few simple clicks, I can go through and update a tariff amount, put in a stop sell or a hot price. For today, I'm going to change the pricing from the 10th to the 14th of May on my two-bedroom villa, 3 nights, and I'm going to make it $350 per night. I click save, and that has now successfully updated the tariff grid, and you can see that there, that has now changed. We also have a legend in the tariffs grid as well. So from here, I can see any stop sells or hot price, disallow check-in, disallow check-out, just with a single click. In the top left-hand corner, I can also filter the tariffs grid as well. So I can do that by room type, look at it by date. And so that everyone is aware, REI Cloud allows a two-way connectivity to your chosen channel manager. Moving on from tariffs now, we're now going to go to rates. So here is the rates screen, and you'll see all of your rates listed here. If you migrate from REI Master to REI Cloud, your rate configuration will carry over. Searching has been made easier with the filters along the top. You can now search by tariff plan, by agent, and we've also added in a search field here in the top right-hand corner. So if I type in 7N as an example, it will now show me anything related to that. Now, all of this is based around client feedback. Opening a rate as well, I can do via a double click, and then I can easily see what I have configured. Moving on now to communication with your guests. So in REI Cloud, you can still send an email, you can still send an SMS, you can still create a letter. When you migrate to REI Cloud, you are going to be able to import your email templates from REI Master to REI Cloud, and they will be in a HTML template. In REI Master, HTML templates are an add-on feature, but in REI Cloud, it is the norm. Having HTML templates really does take your communication with your guests to the next level. In REI Cloud, you can have as many HTML templates as you like. I've only set up a couple for you today, but a couple other examples are pre-arrival, post-departure, and marketing emails. You'll see that there's a toolbar along the top here, and this allows you to be able to set the styling of your emails. So you can change the font, the size, the color, add in pictures, hyperlinks, and more. The HTML format is also across the board for emailing in REI Cloud. So that means you can send a HTML template not only to your guests, for mixed-let clients, to your tenants, and also to your landlords. Now that I've shown you how easy it is to create your email, Let me show you how easy it is to send an email in REI Cloud. Let's head back to the bookings calendar. And if I single click on a booking, I can send an email from the quick view. Or if I double click on a booking, I can click on the email button in the top right, select the template I want to use, and send the email. So really simple to be able to do. Now let's head back to the main screen of REI Cloud, and we're going to have a look at agents. You can still set up your booking agents in REI Cloud, and if you migrate from REI Master, this configuration will migrate across for you. If I go into the agent, you'll easily be able to see that the configuration settings are the same as what it is in REI Master. So if you do need to add in a new booking agent, whether it's a rebate agent or an invoice agent, the configuration remains the same. Let's now move on to reports. So you can access reports from the main screen, or you can access it from the bookings calendar. With the report screen in REI Cloud, we've grouped together the reports to make it easier to find. Now I'm going to show you some samples of reports. The first report I want to show you is your daily housekeeping report. As you can see, the report is very similar to REI Cloud and REI Master, and based on client feedback, we've adjusted the ordering of the report. So as you can see here, we have the departure task showing before the arrival task. That'll make it easier for the housekeeping. The next report that I want to show you is the occupancy by room type report. And here's a sample of that report. So again, if you migrate from REI Master, you'll be able to easily produce a occupancy report for historic periods. The final report that I want to show you today is the arrival report. And here's a sample of the arrival report. As you can see, all of these reports are very similar to REI Master, which makes migrating over to REI Cloud much easier. So all your key reports can be found in this screen, and we've also added in dynamic searching in the report screen, so that way you can just simply type in what you're looking for. I've typed in balance, and REI Cloud is now displaying any of the balance reports for me to be able to view. When you migrate to REI Cloud, it will also have your historic reports. And so you're aware, REI Cloud does not archive financial year data. Now let's have a look at the REI Cloud exclusive feature, which is Communities. Communities has been designed with building managers in mind. We are not just focusing on the property management side, which most other software providers do. We're looking at property management as a more holistic approach. Communities allows you to be able to set up all your properties within the complex, including ones that are with outside lets, so other agents or are owner occupiers. You can communicate with your community, so e.g. the complex gate has broken down or there's an upcoming fire drill, and you can easily send an SMS to all your residents. You can also manage the common property areas and complete inspections using our REI Cloud mobile inspection app. You can log all your reoccurring maintenance for your common property areas, like servicing the pool pump or the monthly pool chemical check. You can also set reminders as well for when these tasks are due, and that is located in the top right-hand corner of REI Cloud. And as you can see here, I've got some reminders here to action today for my common property areas. Communicating with your body corporate manager and committee is also very simple to do in REI Cloud. I can easily send an SMS to all of the owners on the committee if I needed to let them know of anything, or send them an email as well. Now let's go to banking in REI Cloud. So with banking in REI Cloud, very simple, very similar to REI Master. So if I click on card receipts, I've got 2 card receipts here to bank. I tick the amount and finalize. And then I can view my receipt register. Now, if you are banking cash, you'll also have a deposit slip as well, which you'll be able to produce and take that to the bank with you to deposit those funds. Next, let's move on to reconciling in REI Cloud. The screen is very similar to that of REI Master. If I right-click on a deposit, I can reprint my bank deposit slip or my receipt register. And if I click on the deposit, I can also see what bankings make up that particular deposit as well. You can still create snapshots in REI Cloud by clicking on Create Bank Reconciliation Snapshot. And if I click on Historical Reports, I can then view those snapshots that have been created. The snapshot allows you to have a point of reference if you do ever fall out of balance. You can create as many snapshots as you like. And REI Cloud will also create snapshots when you do an interim or an end of month disbursement in case you need to reproduce those reports for auditing purposes. Any of your historic snapshots that you've created in REI Master or in your current REI Master database will also migrate to REI Cloud. Let's now have a look at end of month. So if I click on disbursement and end of month, so we've simplified the end of month process. So this gives you the flexibility to be able to do end of month anywhere, anytime. The end of month process will export your reports and email your statements as part of the process for you. So no more having to do this as a separate step while in the end of month wizard. You can also re-download your end of month reports at any time with the disbursement history. This means that you no longer need to rely on an external device that could fail when saving your reports. It's all here saved in your REI Cloud database for you. So this brings us to the end of the demonstration of the day-to-day functions. But what is the next step if you do want to migrate to REI Cloud? We have had a great response from our last webinar, and if you've already registered, we will be in touch with you to complete a readiness assessment on your data. Please note the change is not compulsory. If you have business-specific questions, please contact us and we are more than happy to chat about your individual business needs. Before you migrate to REI Cloud, I just want to go through a few points that you should consider before making that decision. Your internet speed. Why is that important? If you are using a mobile internet plan or a mobile dongle, that is not a good choice to move to REI Cloud. It is not recommended that you run your business on a mobile dongle, and you should be using a business level internet plan. What redundancies do you have in place if your internet does go down? The Wi-Fi at the local Zarafas should not be that backup plan. What devices do you have in place and what operating systems are they currently running? We still log into clients' PCs and note that they're using XP, Vista, Windows 7 or Windows 8. And just so that you're aware, these versions are no longer supported by Microsoft. What about your team? It's important that your team are on board with changing to a new software. As I've shown you today, these features are similar to REI Master, and this will help the migration process. All of these questions should be considered before making your choice to migrate.